I hate to admit it, but Instagram really does suck for artists, and it's kind of sad because I'm someone that likes to post on as many platforms as possible just to get my art out there, and I just wish that Instagram algorithm wasn't so bad for artists especially. Now let me explain. So I have been posting content for so long. I have been posting TikToks, I've been posting YouTube videos. Well, I started posting YouTube videos last summer, but I was posting TikToks for probably like 3 years. So I kind of know how to get the hang of shorts in particular. And what I've noticed is that most platforms, if you're consistent, all you have to worry about is 3 things: attention span, quality, and consistency. So if you're consistent, then you are more likely to succeed. Sometimes I see artists post really good art, but then they go like 2 months without posting, and then their views and their followers go down. That's natural. And then sometimes I see people post good art, but the quality is bad. People are more likely to watch videos that have better quality. Getting your audience attention. Most artists, most people in general don't have good attention spans, which makes it harder for artists because we take hours on our work and we have to basically cut it down to 7 seconds, and the first 2 seconds have to be super engaging so we can actually get the people's attention, which is really sad. But over the years I have learned how to accumulate followers and how to get people's attention really quickly. So when I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna post on Instagram, everything's gonna be fine, I'm just gonna repost the content that I already posted on other platforms and they performed well and everything should be well. It was not well. I don't know what's wrong with Instagram's algorithm. I don't know what's wrong with oh my gosh. I don't know what's wrong with Instagram's algorithm, but it absolutely sucks. I was thinking, okay, well, maybe they're performing bad because I have to be consistent. So I was consistent on Instagram for about 2 months, and I was posting every single day. Every single day, consistent, good quality content. And when I say good quality, I mean actual good content, because I posted multiple videos on Instagram, but the same ones I posted on YouTube, I got really, like, I'm telling you, like, in the span of a month, I had about 3 videos that had over 1 million views. One with 3.6 million views and counting, one with 7 million views, and then one with probably like a low, like 2 million views or something like that. And that was in the span of a month. So I would think that, okay, at least those videos should perform well on Instagram. No, they didn't. And it makes me so mad. So I started thinking, okay, what is so different compared to these platforms? Because same videos on TikTok also performed well too. 3.6 million views. What's the difference? And when I say a difference, I'm saying I posted it on Instagram and it got 2,000 views and 20 likes. Not to say I'm complaining, but I'm complaining. So I had to ask myself, okay, well, what are the major differences? The first thing that is different between those platforms is that Instagram is more like a Facebook. If you go on your Instagram feed right now, you will either see accounts that you follow, you will only see their post, or you will see posts from people who have thousands and millions of views. Videos of people who blow up. You are not going to be scrolling on your feed, and you're not going to find an artist or a content creator that only has 2 likes. Very rarely. On Reels, you might see it more, but on your actual like home feed, you're not going to find people who you don't follow who have very little views or likes. Now, on other platforms such as YouTube, they make it their mission to help smaller creators, so they try to make it fair by pushing out smaller creators' content as well. And I was even seeing some videos of people saying that smaller creators have more favoritism towards the algorithm because they're trying to help smaller creators, which is great. And as far as TikTok and YouTube, they do the same thing basically. So when you publish your video, this is what I noticed too. When I publish a short on YouTube, first day is not gonna blow up, you know? When I post it, it's not gonna blow up and then I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this video did well. No, I'm gonna post it, it's gonna get probably like 500 views tops. And then the next day or days after, it's gonna start blowing up. And this is not just coincidence, because I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Why is it that my YouTube videos don't blow up initially, or they do really poorly the first like day or two, and then they start actually gaining momentum? And it's actually because they're trying to test out your content. So they'll post it's kind of like it's unlisted. They push your content to only a certain amount of people, and they see based on this amount of people, I sent it out to 500 people. How many people watched it? Oh, 400 people liked it. That means that, you know, that means that this is a good video. So then they start pushing it more. They analyze the small group before they spread it out to the large group. Now I noticed Instagram does not do this. They don't do this. They just like leave it there. Most of the audience that I get are from people who already follow me. So another thing is, in theory, if you have a good video, it should do well on all platforms, because they should be taking the same amount of information, which, like I said, is the attention span, consistency, and quality, right? But they don't do that. So I was like, okay, well, maybe there's just something I'm doing wrong. So I started posting for 2 months on Instagram, and I didn't see any sort of improvement. So I've just gotten to a point where I also have other content creators that I follow, and I found them by literally trying so hard to find mutual friends, which is basically finding art accounts and then going through the comments and finding small creators and then clicking on the comment, going to their profile, liking their pictures, DMing them saying, hey, I'm also a smart artist, we should be mutuals. Like, that's how far I have to go to get actual mutual artists on Instagram, which is crazy. I shouldn't have to do that. And yeah, so I literally have to go to that extent just to find friends. And I noticed that sometimes I would find a art creator and they'll have the same amount of followers as me, which is about 700, 300 or whatever, and they're posting consistently, and one video post blows up, and then from that one video they start getting more videos that blow up. So it's almost like the Instagram algorithm. It's like you have to be popular to become popular. You have to have a video that blows up in order to blow up, which is like so hard because the likelihood of you blowing up is so small. So it's hard to really advance on Instagram. It really is. As opposed to on YouTube, which it makes sense, or on TikTok, which it makes sense. If you have a video that blows up, it doesn't mean that you're going to become famous. It doesn't mean that your videos after that are going to be good. Now, you may have more likelihood to blow up initially because you'll have people who followed you, and because they followed you, they'll watch more of your content. So it's still based off of your followers. But if I were to post on TikTok, sometimes I had videos that blew up on TikTok, and then the next video does dookie, or the next video does bad. And of course I complain about that, but that's a good thing because it shows that it doesn't have anything to do with your other content, but it has something to do with the video itself. So it helps you because you're able to analyze, oh, okay, well, what is different from this video that blew up compared to this video that didn't blow up? So you're able to compare. Another thing I noticed is that your videos on Instagram, their ratio is weird. So if I were to post on YouTube, right, and the video got 2,000 likes, right, I am going to range from about like 190 likes to 200 likes. When I get 2,000 views, I get 200 likes, because it's about 10% of the people that watch the videos are gonna like it, right? And this isn't just something I made up. It's actually like, if I look through my analytics, it will most likely be like that. And it's not the same for Instagram. If I post on Instagram, the video can have 2,000 views and it only has 20 likes. How does that make any sense? How does that make any, that's like a crazy ratio. So I have to think like, okay, well, I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. Now, the algorithm also sucks because you can't look things up. The only way you can blow up, first of all, okay, let's get this straight. The only way you can blow up is if you previously blew up, but it's hard to blow up in the first place. Secondly, you will only get content from smaller creators on Reels. So short Reels is the only way, the possible small chance that you're going to get to see a smaller creator, right? And then on top of that, you can't search things up on Instagram. And I know this not because specifically about art, but have you ever had like a situation where you tell somebody a joke and they don't get it, and it's like because it's like a meme or something and they never saw the video, so you're like, oh no, you haven't heard of that, let me show you. So you start looking it up, right? You're like, oh, how Instagram sucks at looking things up. You go on TikTok, you look something up, oh, the LeBron meme, you're gonna get content from the LeBron meme. You look it up on Instagram, a specific like thing, or you're not gonna see anything about that. Or you're gonna see something similar, but it's not gonna be what you're asking for. You cannot search things up on Instagram. I don't know why. You try to search up something, you don't get it. You get random, like, it's so annoying. And it's like, when people go on Instagram, they don't go there to learn things. Usually people go to Instagram because they want to have a good laugh, a good 7-minute laugh. And they're like, 7-second laugh. And they're like, ha 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 ha. You don't go to Instagram for information. If you want information, you go to YouTube. How to do this, you go to YouTube. You don't look up how to do this on Instagram. But you can look up how to do this on TikTok, because TikTok is also more on the educational side. Or if you want to learn more about products or certain, like, you would look that up on TikTok. When people go to Instagram, they go to Instagram just to laugh. And they don't search things up. They just scroll mindlessly. So I see some content creators on Instagram, they do try to kind of combat that by making funny form content, like relatable stuff, things that other people post, but just turn it into art, into little characters, and they perform well. But if I were to do that, I would have to change my content from my YouTube and my TikTok content, and it would have to cater towards Instagram. And I'm not going to do that because I have other things to worry about, like my longer form content, and also like my commissions and my collabs that I do. I'd much rather focus my time on that than on trying to beat the terrible Instagram algorithm. Also, it's not worth it for artists because you can't really get paid on Instagram. Instagram doesn't pay you anything. Now, I know other content creators, like other places, you also don't get paid much on TikTok, I know that, and you also don't get paid much on YouTube unless you get monetized. Totally understandable, makes sense. But at least TikTok has the option to where you can sell their products and you can have people click on your link. You can't get that on TikTok, on Instagram. On Instagram, you would basically have to create your own affiliate marketing or whatever, and you'll have people click your, it's more like for promoting your stuff. But again, it's hard to it's hard to promote your stuff because it's hard to blow. It's just too much. And I feel like I'm not gonna go to a point where I'm not gonna post on Instagram at all. I'm not gonna stop posting on Instagram, but I'm definitely going to not worry about blowing up on Instagram. Instead, I'm going to do well on other platforms and then refer people, oh, you want to follow me on Instagram? Go follow me on Instagram. You can, participate in polls. You can participate in this. I can DM you back. But I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to try to blow up on Instagram, because the algorithm is terrible. It is terrible for artists, and I'm not going to tell you guys to stop posting. Continue to post, your stuff, but focus more on a platform that you have more likelihood of exceeding in, like YouTube. Focus more on YouTube. Focus more on TikTok if you want to sell their products or whatever, but don't focus too much on Instagram. Just repost your stuff on there. I'm not gonna play these games, basically. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. The video that you guys were watching was actually a collab that I did with somebody on my Instagram. I hate to promote, like I just said, but genuinely, I reached out. I don't even know how we became friends, but I try my best to reach out to small creators and hey, we are both small artists, let's become friends or whatever. And I'm always down to doing collabs with people, and we can just pick a base. You draw your OC, I draw my OC, we put them together, very beautiful. If you want to participate with something like that, go ahead and do that. If you want to participate in polls, go ahead and do that too. If you want to give me ideas or whatever, follow me on Instagram. It's the best platform to contact me because again, I don't have many followers on there. I get all my notifications, so I definitely recommend that. If you have found a way to beat the Instagram algorithm, if you do well on Instagram, tell me what to do. Give me suggestions of how I can not be hating on Instagram. And if you also have struggles on Instagram, if you have struggles with platforms, definitely comment your opinions down below, because I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always open to debates. But anyway, make sure you guys stay blessed and drink enough water.